So we're in an area of central Osaka called Fukushima. It's only one train stop away from Osaka Station, but there's heaps of local izakayas down here below the train tracks and in the streets around here. So let's go izakaya hopping. Fukushima is directly west of Osaka Station. It's a pretty big area, but for today's izakaya hopping, we're just sticking to the area around the station. The block from JR Fukushima Station to Shin Fukushima Station, because this seems to be where the action is. To get here from Osaka Station, just hop on the Osaka Loop line from platform 1, heading anti-clockwise, and get off at the next stop. Couldn't be easier. All trains from Osaka stop at Fukushima. Our first stop is a popular joint just 2 steps away from the station. This place gets quite busy, so we're starting early. If I can figure out how to open the door. So an izakaya is kind of like a Japanese bar that serves alcohol but also food, often very cheap food. And this place specializes in a specific type of yakitori chicken skewers, which are made of just chicken skin. Actually, there are many places in Fukushima offering menus in English, Chinese, and Korean, but I don't know if this one does. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. We started with my favourite, cucumber entree, as always, and I got myself a lemon sour, which is a super common drink in Japan, made from a Japanese alcohol called shochu, lemon juice, and soda. Kay just got a beer on tap because one of the catchphrases here is that the beer is cheaper than at a convenience store. Also, something to note about izakayas is that there's normally a seating charge or otoshi, which looks like a little side dish that each person automatically gets when they sit down. This place did some kind of lotus root appetizer. Then our chicken skin skewers arrived. I love chicken skin. It's so crunchy, and they've added a very addictive sauce. They obviously have other stuff on the menu too, but this chicken skewer pyramid looked delicious. You can go all the way up to like a 36 skewer pyramid or something, but it's just the 2 of us today, so we went with 10. And they're dirt cheap. This goes so well with beer.
1本50で10本頼んでるから500円。生中190円。
You can add this sodium-free spice mix to the skewers too, which smells like it's going to be super strong, but I don't know, I drowned them in spice, but I just couldn't taste the difference. Maybe the lack of salt in the spice threw me off and I was actually supposed to add more, I don't know. I liked them as they were anyway, so I didn't mind too much. ごちそうさまでした。ありがとうございます。
美味しかったね。意外にね。
美味しかった。I'm full.
マジで。まだまだ行くよ。また6時や。スナックや。
How much was it?
もう2000円ぐらい。
That's so good. On to the next one.
もう一軒行きますか。
Yeah, let me just upload this to Instagram. Running out of data in a foreign country is a pretty daunting idea. And because I've partnered with Airalo, an eSIM provider that offers data packages in Japan for a while now, I often get questions about how much data to purchase ahead of a trip to Japan. And honestly, it depends. I found that I use about 10 gigabytes on a 2 or 3 week trip if I'm being conservative. For some people, that's not going to be enough. For others, it's going to be too much. So my recommendation, just take a guess based on your usual data usage patterns back home and choose a package based on that. You might end up finding that it's not enough. You know, using Google Maps while you're walking around can eat up a surprising amount of data, not just battery. But don't worry, you can use the Airalo app to track how much data you've still got on your plan. And if you do end up using it all, it's really easy to top up your plan. And you can do it at any time of the day or night. Just make sure that you've purchased a plan that allows for top-ups. You can check this easily when you click on the plan and scroll down. Just a heads up, topping up the plan will overwrite any data you have remaining, so just wait until you've used up most or all of it before you top up. You can set an alert on your phone to let you know when you're just about to run out of data too, which is super handy. Even if you're traveling outside of Japan, Airalo offers data packages in over 200 countries and regions. I've made a step-by-step guide on how to install and activate your eSIM, which you can watch by clicking on the video in the top right-hand corner. If you're interested in checking out Airalo, you can use my discount code SUNNY to get an extra $3 off. Details will be through this QR code here, or you can check them out in the description below. Thanks again, Airalo, for sponsoring this video. This place looks cool.
ここ良さそうね。
Yeah.
うん。ここ行ってみる？
Should we do this one? So this place that we're at, it's not like a strictly vegetarian izakaya, but they have like a whole vegetarian menu. And we're actually sitting right below the train tracks. They're just there. So you can hear every train passing by, but it's super cool vibes here.
気持ちいいな。
It's actually so nice. But it's cooled down a lot. It's really pleasant actually outside now.
気持ちいい。ポチッとな。おコーチンでトマト。あ、でもやっぱベジタリアン系多いよ。って言ってたらビーフ出てきた。すごい、これ写真の中で動画なってる。
Oh wow, yeah, right.
もうハリー・ポッターの新聞や。2軒目。
It looks like chips, but it's daikon. That's really refreshing actually during the summer. So
何もつけんでいいの？で明太子ソースつけたらいいんじゃん。
let's try that. That's weird.
合わない。
In my opinion, no. We got some fig.
珍しいよね。
Healthy. A whole plate of veggies is maybe not the first thing that comes to mind when you're going to an izakaya, but I love that there's so much variation in the types of izakayas that exist, even in this one small
まあ
area.
美味しいけど塩でもいいかもしれない。野菜自体がしっかり火取ってるから塩でいける。
They're like cooked to perfection. That's so good. But the specialty here is this. These are the sushi, but it's not sushi, it's vegetables. Okay, I'm gonna guess. You tell me if I'm right.
1番
Capsicum.
イエスピンポン。
Mushroom.
マッシュルーム何？
Shiitake.
正解。
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Takenoko?
エリ
What
ン
is
ギ
it? Erengi. Nasu. Eggplant.
正解。
Yes.
これ
Onion.
正解。
Yes. Oh, what's this one? Is that also capsicum? What is it? Egg.
この色から考えよう。
What else is it? A banana? What else is that color?
ハロウィン。
Pumpkin.
ピンポン。
Oh, okay. Cucumber and instead of ikura, is it pomegranate seeds?
これな答えにはな秘密って書いてるの。
Himitsu? Oh, I wonder what it is.
じゃあ飛ばして8番。
Okay, this looks like miso paste.
何が入ってるの？
There's a vegetable in there.
うさぎ。
Carrot?
ピンポン。
Really? I wonder what this is.
それ何やろ？1個食べてんよ。
If you're playing along at home, I'll give you 3 seconds to take a guess. これなんですか？
あ、これがね、トマトですね。
トマト。
トマトとカツオのだしをちょっとペーストにして、注射器でちょっと1個ずつ作ってました。
すごい。
そうなんですよ。ちょっとなかなか当てにくいとは思うんですけど。はい。
ありがとうございます。
How is it? I love it. That's so good. I love that they put shison, the perilla leaves, in the rice. It kind of gives that like sushi flavor because it's associated with sushi all the time. It obviously doesn't taste anything like sushi, but that's really fun. That's really fun. By the time we'd finished at the second izakaya, it was now fully dark, and I reckon if I had to pick a time to come check out this neighborhood, I'd say around 7 or 8 p.m, just after the sun has set. It says no bicycle parking. Look at all the bikes. This is where you're supposed to park your bike. It's empty! And you might say, well, maybe it's just expensive. It costs 150 yen. That's $1.
夜の福島はいいですね。大阪からたった一人やけどこんな変わるもんなんやな。
It's crazy. One of the super cool things about Fukushima is that most of the izakayas here are locally run establishments, some of which have been here for decades. So when you walk around, you get this really interesting mix of retro and neon, and a frequent display of the Japanese hospitality, or omotenashi, as the staff see off their customers all the way onto the street. Chain izakayas are great because they're larger establishments with a relaxed, bustling atmosphere and oftentimes an English menu. But if you're looking to try a more intimate setting, the alleyways by Fukushima Station here are a great chance to experience what an old school, hole-in-the-wall izakaya feels like. Now we are at izakaya number 3, and this is a yakiniku place. This place, called Ichibo, is a small restaurant with only counter seats. And on the table in front of us, we had a small grill. Kanpai! We started with something called the Otsukaresama set, which kind of translates to a set for you who has worked hard today, which I thought was super cute. A really good size for one person, with individual pieces of different slices of meat. Does this place have otoshi? No. Chatting with the staff in these kind of places is pretty common, and they'll talk to you while they prep your food and make recommendations for you based on what you like. That's how we ended up with this single serving of sukiyaki, which are thin slices of marinated meat that you dip into raw egg. Very tasty. Because I'm not Japanese, the owner wanted to know what I thought of a wasabi steak. I love wasabi and I love steak, and they absolutely go together. It kind of feels like the wasabi melts like a tangy butter onto the steak when it's heated. I also love that they cut everything for us to make it easier to grill. We came too late for it, but this place also does a happy hour with some drinks being like $1. I'm so full.
どうする？ラーメン行く？
いいよ。
行くんかい。そこのラーメンなんかめっちゃ人気やけど10時に閉まんねん。で今もう結構10時前とか。It's like quarter to 10. だからもし列があったらもう無理やろ多分。まあ行くだけ行ってみようか。Let's go have a look. めっちゃ売り切れてるやん。あれ？売り切れまくりやん。
We were so bummed we couldn't try this ramen. We actually came back another day to try it. So here's how it went. We got the standard ramen and tsukemen. It's technically a soy sauce ramen, but with a rich chicken broth. Whereas the tsukemen was a broth of chicken, fish, and kombu. Tsukemen is similar to ramen, except the noodles come separately to the broth and you dip them in as you eat. The broth is a little bit too fishy for me, but Kate loves it. And now back to what we actually did when we couldn't have the ramen. If you're ever in need of a snack, late night in Osaka, get the taiyaki. It's 300 yen. You can get the red bean paste, but I recommend getting this golden one. It's called sweet potato.
Naruto Kinto Kimo.
Yeah, if you can say that. Naruto Kinto Kimo. Anyway, that's it for today. Let us know if you have any other places in Osaka or anywhere else in Japan that you want to see an izakaya hopping video from. And a huge thank you to Aerolo for sponsoring this video. If you want to check them out, you can use my discount code SUNNY to get an extra $3 off. You can check out the QR code on the screen now, or information will be in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.